July 19th, 2018 is a date that we in Missouri won't ever forget. 17 people lost their lives and 11 were injured in a boating accident on Table Rock Lake. During a severe thunderstorm, a duck boat called Stretch Duck 7 sank with 31 people aboard, including children. Today marks 875 days since that tragedy. To the families and friends that lost loved ones that day, I am sure that every one of those 875 days since has come with a new and painful reminder of your loss. And so, Mr. President, I'm here today to honor those who lost their lives, the 17 victims of that tragedy, a tragedy that should never have happened, and also to honor the survivors who live with the memory of that tragedy every day. They deserve to be remembered. They deserve to be respected by this body. And I am here to do something about it. The time has come to act, and I am here to ask this body to do its job and to finally pass my bill imposing tough new security restrictions and measures on every duck boat operation in America. This is a bill I introduced almost 2 years ago, and that has passed the Commerce Committee unanimously. Now, truth be told, it's taken this body far too long to act. That's because the tragedy in Missouri may have been one of the more recent duck boat tragedies, but it was far from the first. In 1999, 13 people were killed when a duck boat sank during a tour of Lake Hamilton in Arkansas. In the years since, the death toll has climbed to over 40. In 2001, there was a duck boat accident in Seattle, Washington. In 2010, a tugboat on the Delaware River in Philadelphia collided with a duck boat. In 2013, a duck boat caught fire in San Francisco Bay, and I could go on. Now, the National Transportation Safety Board has issued numerous recommendations to improve duck boat safety. They've issued many of these recommendations multiple times. And the U.S. Coast Guard, which regulates these crafts, has recently concurred with quite a number of these recommendations. But to be frank, we need more than recommendations. We need more than studies and surveys. We need laws. It's been 875 days, and we've seen investigation after investigation conclude the same thing, that lives could have been saved if action had been taken, if this body had acted, if the security measures had been put in place. The time for the delay has passed. The time to act is now in order to save future lives and to make sure that the tragedy that happened in Branson is not repeated again in Missouri or any other state. My legislation would take those recommendations and put them into law. It includes provisions to ensure that duck boats remain buoyant while flooding, during flooding. It requires dangerous canopies to be removed. It requires life jackets for passengers. My legislation would also ensure that duck boats don't go out during severe weather, and also require the operators of duck boats to know what the weather is, a common sense provision, but one not currently required under the law. I want to thank Senator Blunt, Senator Cotton, and Senator Duckworth for supporting this legislation and their strong support for life-saving provisions. And I want to thank Chairman Wicker for moving this bill through the Commerce Committee, where, once again, it received unanimous support. And now it is time to make it the law of the land. And so, Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent that the Committee of Commerce be discharged from further consideration of S. 1031 and the Senate proceed to its immediate consideration.
The clerk will report.
S. 1031, a bill to implement recommendations related to the safety of amphibious passenger vessels and for other purposes.
Without objection, the committee is discharged, and the Senate will proceed to the measure.
I ask unanimous consent that the Hawley substitute amendment be agreed to, the bill as amended be considered read a third time and passed, and that the motions to reconsider be considered made and laid upon the table.
Without objection.
Thank you, Mr. President. I yield the floor.